Let strength be granted so the world might be mended, so the world might be mended.
Alright, we're back. Let's get this shit done. Boys, I've been dallying. It's very unprofessional. I can understand why y'all have such reservations when watching this. I'm going to try to do better for you, son. I'm going to try to even do might be gooder for y'all. And that's high expectations for Tenfey channel. Now that we know Water Veil, let's go kill a big spider. It's a good thing. I'm going to have a hard time because in the last episode of Dark Souls 3 Standard Issue Night that I recorded before this, which is the one where I was first getting to the Ring City and fighting all the ghost archers that came out of the floor. I believe I wrote an award-winning original short story starring Archie and Edith Bunker. But I was talking about how I've just seen people playing this game and the load times were so fast that it made Dark Souls 3 seem intolerable. But now that I've actually sat here and played the game, son, I'm going to be double spoiled. Okay. I see they changed the sticky white stuff to sticky white slime. Don't know if I agree with that level of censorship. There are items out here. We've got to have them. What kind of asshole plays through a Souls game and doesn't pick up all the items, even if he doesn't want them? Thank God that thing was as close as it was. I mean, thank God I tactically. Is that a word? Am I making up words? You're like, oh great, Tenfey's making up words again. In a tactical-like manner, I walked over this side. Fat officials are punks. Oh no, not a fireball. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just, I thought we were grown adults, and grown adults know that Soul Arrow is much cooler than fireball. Now let me step out for a minute and gather myself. Let all the hate dissipate from my body. Oh, that's right. We're living people now. We're living things in living color. He slapped my shield away. What an asshole. Let's get a good look at you in the light and see just how badly Blue Point changed your design. They definitely lost that weird, like, Lovecraftian heart. Where were you? Inside of him? Jesus. This is a crushing axe. Tri-tongue butt axe. We're not really axe men. Or, heaven forbid, hatchet men. Can you even imagine? Okay. A renowned warrior. Now, is that better than being an unknown? Would you rather be a renowned warrior or an unknown hero? I know the path I choose, son. It's the one I live every day on the Tenfey channel, son. The unknown hero. The Saitama of YouTube. That's what they call Tenfey. You're like, really? Who's they? I'm like, oh, well, you wouldn't know. They're from the land far north. And yes, they are all my hot girlfriends. It's a coincidence. A stone of ephemeral eyes. That's this game's equivalent to like an ember or a human effigy or a humanity. In that it takes us from being a ghost and makes us real boys. It's the blue fairy from Pinocchio. Or that movie AI. Which is a very sorrowful movie, I think. But I guess that's what they were going for. Alright, fellas. Digging holes. That's nice and all. But I've got to backstab you. And if any of you don't believe you deserve backstabbing, then I'll shoot you to death with the magic. My crescent falchion brings all the boys' kidneys to the yard because it carves a fucking swath through. That crowd's in a literal fucking pile and I put them in it. Son, the Earl of Cloves don't fuck around, I'm telling you. You don't want to run into him on a bad day. When he's got Earl shit to do. Look at him, I told you he looks like he's fucking constantly wore out. I refuse to use the camera thing to do this. He looks slightly less tired in this light. More disinterested. Am I confusing apathy with work ethic? It's kind of like that episode of Seinfeld where George found out that as long as he pretends to be mad at work, everyone thinks he's real busy. It's a real thing. Bag boys drop the good shit. Always kill bag boys. Son, unless you're at the grocery store, I suppose. They don't really have bag boys at the grocery stores anymore. At least not around here. And you can't get your groceries in a paper bag. Boys, how am I supposed to walk out the elevator to my fancy apartment with a baguette sticking out of a brown paper bag and run into an interesting character? A plot relevant character. I just assume that's what happens. If you live in like a big city, in like one of them high-rise apartment buildings, I assume every day you go to the local grocery store and get a brown paper bag full of groceries. Don't rub your fat belly and then shoot fire with the same hand without washing it. It's fucking nasty. Do you think I won't shoot you to death? What are they even going to use that baguette for? A baguette's a very specific piece of bread. I feel like you can't just... Like, you can't make French toast with a baguette. You can't make regular toast with a baguette. All you can make is baguette. You can put something on it, I guess. He's real pleased with himself. He hit me once. As long as he didn't perfect me, that's all he cares about. A couple of hits of the crescent will get me back where I'm going, son. Whenever my HP is low, whenever I'm feeling weak, I just think about the crescent, and it emboldens me. Clear stone. Sharp stone. Hard stone. Demon Souls weapon upgrading. There's too much going on. That's one thing I don't miss. Well, ain't you just invincible standing slightly around that corner? Oh, I found your dead zone, son. Christopher Walken can't predict the future in that one spot. Have y'all ever read The Dead Zone? I like how I bring up the movie because I believe Christopher Walken plays Johnny in the movie, but I've never actually seen that. I've read the book. Not much happens. A fella. Why does he get psychic powers? I don't remember. He's like at the carnival and like playing the Wheel of Fortune, and then with like his girlfriend, and then I think he gets in a car wreck and goes into like a coma. And when he wakes up, the doctor's like, "I'm sorry, but you've got psychic brain powers now. There's nothing I can do. I guess you'll just have to solve crimes. And if you run into any crazy politicians, you might have to." I was going to say what he tries to do in the book, but I realized that YouTube and Google are scanning every word that's said on it. And just hearing those words would probably summon a black van. So go read the Wikipedia plot summary of Dead Zone so I don't have to go get sent to Guantanamo. Okay. We're doing a fairly decent job of professionally going through Stungfang Tunnel. We haven't really made any major mistakes. We've done not the best job of fighting these fat officials, but that's just so I can do real good right here and make y'all proud. Excuse me, could you throw a fireball so that I know you have a refractory period? Because if I go to run across that bridge, spoilers by the way, run across the left side because the bridge explodes. Cheating. This man is cheating. How far can Tenfey make it into a darker Demon Souls video before he accuses the enemies of cheating? Usually not long. It's like that Futurama where they put the explosive device in Bender that was triggered by him saying the word ass. And I believe it's Fry who goes, "Oh no, we don't have much time." The good times. I never watched all of the later season Futurama, but I assume like most cartoons, it was just worse. Now I have to fall down there and pull a lever, but that don't mean I have to deal with you and your petty nonsense. Or at least I shouldn't have to, but I am going to have to because level design. Which, once again, is Hidetaka Miyazaki's fault. I'm gonna run around you and get a backstab. Oh boy. Next, two-hand your Crescent Falchion. And spam R2s. You'll do some sort of a twirling attack. These guys are over here doing a dirt bath like chinchillas. Boys, if you ain't never seen a chinchilla do a dirt bath, you got to pause this video and go If I had any decency, I'll have linked it in the somewhere in the comments for you. You want to talk about an adorable time. I like to think they just do it to be cute. They don't even do it for like a practical reason. Well, this guy planned ahead and stood in front of a wooden pillar or a wooden beam, which rendered him immune. Now, oh, okay, I was about to say, why is there not an offline Phantom who's doomed to pull this lever forever? Of course, we're having a fairly easy time here, but then again, we started as the most best class to start as, and we've gone and gotten ye old good shit. If I ran a store back in olden times, it would be called ye old good shit. No, ye old good shite. Old would have an E on the end of it, and so would shite. And you know we'd carry crescent falchions, because they qualify as that good shit. Blessed maces, they're pretty good too. They're more situational, but in the situations where they're good, they're very good. Just raining down magic death. That's what I get up to. People always ask in early clothes, what are you doing down there in them underground tunnels? And he's like, just doling out some magical justice. Anything he does counts as justice because he's the Earl of Cloves. His word is law. I really, in the break, should have looked up what actually constitutes being an Earl. But I'd like to think a lot of people let it go to their head. What's the female equivalent? An Earless? Just put S at the end of words, and it always makes them feminine. So we had to do a little bit of mandatory backtracking, but Resident Evil prepared me for that. They should do a Resident Evil that's like a Dark Souls clone. I was talking earlier. I was kind of talking about I wish there was a Final Fantasy Souls game, but imagine how amazing that would be. You start out and you pick one of the Final Fantasy starting classes, and you ain't got to necessarily start out in like the legendary fucking artifact armor for that class. But you could like start out with that type of weapon or magic, boys. God, that's a good idea. I wish I had the power to will software into existence. Could Squaresoft or Square Enix like sue me for that if I generated it with my mind? I guess there's no difference for me generating the software with my mind and me actually knowing how to program and just make it. Like the end result is the same. Equivalence of outcome. So it doesn't matter. I would just play it. And if any of you all wanted to play it, I'd be like, here, you can have copy. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell Nobuo Uematsu. I don't know why he'd care, since he's a music guy. Sakaguchi. Sakaguchi. Well, would he care now? He doesn't even work on Final Fantasy anymore. They got Nomura. Oh, good God. You want proof that Final Fantasy VII Remake's plot is a fucking mess? My friend Sean DeRoos was over here. Tenfey legend. Everyone's favorite supplemental Tenfey character, Sean DeRoos. And he's never actually experienced FF7 Remake. He was still under the impression it was an actual remake of Final Fantasy VII, the poor naive fool. And so I informed him through... I did quite a few actions. If you'd have filmed it, it'd have probably been YouTube gold, because I was just ranting and raving. I was standing in my kitchen fucking ranting and raving. But anyway, I was explaining to him how it's not really a remake, it's a sequel where Sephiroth's ghost somehow went back in time after you beat his ass and knows the future and is like, I'm going to cheat and make things different. But if you try to make things different, time ghosts appear and yell at you because they represent like forum posters that Nomura is making fun of. And like, you fight Sephiroth at the end of the game, at the end of the fucking motorcycle section. And like at the end of all that, Sean was like, that sounds pretty cool. And I literally said to his face, that's all the proof I ever needed that it's a fucking mess. Son. We know who Nomura's audience is now, son. I scarcely... Like, I almost entertained the notion that there would be a comment under this video imploring me, if not outright low-key demanding me to do a Final Fantasy VII Remake playthrough. Boys, that's a long ways off. We got, like, a shitload of Final Fantasy to get through for that. Now's the part where you're like, well, then why don't you play more Final Fantasy? And I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no! My own attack reflected back at me. Genkai. I'm Shishi Wakamaru, and Genkai has reflected my own energy back at me. Wait, did she do that to him, or did she do that to the clown man? Y'all have to watch Yu Yu Hakusho. That's a good show. If you enjoy anything the likes of Dragon Ball, or even to use more current shit for you kids like My Hero Academia and that shit, I guarantee you'll like Yu Yu Hakusho. This is Blacksmith Ed. I guess we'll repair our equipment while we're here. Thank God there's a repair all button now. Son, Miyazaki finally played Diablo 2 and learned that you can put a button that just says repair all. Well, look at this pretty view. What do you think that bridge down there leads to? We're never around. Look at that cool little city over there with like cranes and shit. Ye old cranes. How do you operate a ye old crane? With ye old pulleys and levers, of course. Okay. Anyway, Final Fantasy Souls, goddamn don't I want it. I won't even do something as outrageous as demand it have different playable races. You know, to pick a few at random. You know. Just saying. I'm not saying... In fact, why... instead of wasting all that time putting humans in the game, just make it Ronso and Moogles and Burmesians. And hell, whatever the hell Red 13 is. You're like, he's like not even bipedal. He runs around Namely Pamely. And I'm like, so you can't program Namely Pamely gameplay? I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was talking to Nomura. Red 13 not playable. Final Fantasy Remake Part 1. That's a crime is what it is. Alright, what were we doing? We got to go back and give Stockpile Thomas a bunch of just shit weighing me down. Why you always gotta be right there when I am here? It's unsettling. Thomas, my dog, my ace in the hole. Have I got a bunch of shit for you? So luckily all your upgrade materials, you can still use them at the blacksmith even if they're in Thomas's inventory. And that was actually in the original game. Every time I'm like, do I need to be carrying this spear around? But there are instances where we're going to be like, we need to poke shit from far away. So, gotta have a spear. You gotta have a spear. Oh yeah, we picked up these gloves. What do they do? Fat ministers who appeared just before the demons ran rampant in Boletaria and the integrated cells of King Alant. So those fucking things, the demons weren't even here and those things showed up. That's bad enough. You think somebody would have noticed? It's like, did you notice these creepy fucking fat officials running around? Do you think there's demons? I think this was something they added in the remake. Let's see what they look like. Let us don the gloves. Oh wait, do we have... Oh, that's not stats. It's just armor class goes down. Are they fingerless? Ye old cool fingerless gloves. We could be a Resident Evil character. So in the first 3 Resident Evils, if you didn't have fingerless gloves on, how could you be a Resident Evil character? You're like, what about Sherry and Ada? I'm like, well, what about them? They're not the main characters. Gotta hell. Okay. Let's see here. That means... We'll carry them as our, hey, we need something lighter gloves. Wizard shoes. Now, those wizard shoes are attached to wizard pants. They don't tell you that part. So, imagine the value. I'm not carrying fucking throwing knives around. I've got magic and shit. We don't need to carry all these stones of ephemeral eyes. We'll use those when we want to get worlds to pure black tendency, which requires intentionally dying in human form. Spitefully. I found an elixir, by the way. A strange concoction that invigorates the user's resolve. Well, talk about vague fucking description. How's the FDA supposed to validate that? Has a pleasing scent of flowers and rain, so it smells like that girl's father from Samurai Champloo. Well, that must be a new item. Oh, I forgot we're supposed to not be wasting time and shit. Let's see, what can I upgrade from you? Should I take my spear to the next level? And this is a spear that's gone beyond. I don't really have any use for all that sharpstone, so there's really no reason not to get this spear up to at least +3. If not +4. It might incentivize us to actually use the fucking thing. Boom. Cool, cool, cool. If we had 5 more, we could upgrade it again. I believe there's some sort of hobo at the entrance to the next area that I completely ignored that sells that shit, but I'm not really worried about keeping that spear upgraded. Don't tell any spear enthusiasts that are listening. I only keep that spear around because it was a gift. Okay. Yeah, that man. He's like some sort of hobo Jesus that sells rocks. Hobo Rock Jesus. I think that's the sequel to Jesus Christ Superstar. Yeah, I'm thinking the Earl of Cloves here is getting out here and getting some fresh air and murdering some folk is really doing wonders for his complexion, you know, his vigors. They might almost be imbalanced. If he get his humors imbalanced, if he embodies aspects of all 4 Ninja Turtles simultaneously, which is the only true sign that your humors are imbalanced, then we'll know we did our job. Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? You might find it hard to believe, but I've always been a Raphael man, son. It's probably the same reason I'm drawn towards Falco Lombardi, the Raphael of Star Fox. Okay. Everyone gets magic. Everyone. There may be a man around that corner. Yep. I was going to say we could actually use the camera once again to cheat and look around the corner, but I decided to do things by the book. Just in case the chief's still watching. I like to think he like starts every Tenfey video and gets like 2 minutes into it before he's like, okay, he ain't fucked up yet. He wants to make sure I don't cuss or swear in the first 30 seconds. Doesn't that like get YouTube mad at you? Is that why YouTube refuses to acknowledge the presence of Tenfey? Do I work too blue? Should I start self-censoring? I don't even know if I can. I'm so used to the stream of consciousness. There's a very short frame buffer between the ideas in my head and how quickly they spew out of my mouth. The only thing slowing them down is the manner in which I speak. Now, they put a crystal lizard right there because they know that I have a fucking weakness for them, son. They know that if I get a little sight of a crystal lizard and my, you know, I get a gander or one, that's all I could think about. I'm like Sniper Wolf when she's given a target. Alright. We have to do a little bit of backtracking. But it was worth it to get cool items. I'm going to kill that salamander. That flaming salamander. I won't bother you all by going into my standard worst party member in Final Fantasy IX rant that I normally would. I like how there are 2 different things that trigger that. There's these enemies and there's that plant in Breath of the Wild. Alright. I'll leave that crowd over there be. They ain't done nothing to me. They ain't not done nothing, Your Honor. And the judge is like, I'll allow it. He doesn't want to show that he can't figure out, like, the context of my, like, triple negative. I almost missed this real good item. Spider Stone, I believe, enhances bows. But once again, we're not a bowman. We've got magic arrows. Okay. I'd even go so far as to call them energy arrows. That's a joke for cool kids that played Star Ocean 2 and acknowledge that Noel is the secret best character. The Steel Shield. Don't you come running over here before I have a chance to obliterate you. Fine, I'll fight you the old-fashioned way. Ho-ho! A backstab. God, it gets stuck in his kidney. His HP bar persisted. That was him trying to hold on to what he's got. But it doesn't make a difference if he made it or not. My favorite part of these guys is how they just stand there like dodo birds as I slaughter them. I wonder if the people who hunted the dodo to extinction feel bad about it. Or did at the time, since they've been dead for a while. Unless one of them became like a dodo wendigo. A dodo. If you eat too much dodo meat, you become a horrific monstrosity. The Tenfey historians don't get enough credit for keeping up with all this nonsense. I like to think they've built some sort of database. A Tenfeypedia, if you will. There is a Tenfey wiki, but it's like a novelty more than anything else. But I'm thinking of like an index, and like the most commonly occurring Tenfey words appear on it. And if you click on one, it links you to all videos that contain that phrase. Boys. I mean, I'm talking about the far future. The Tenfey historians of like the 22nd century. They'll have all kinds of like AI technology. Well, they probably won't, because society probably won't like hold up that long. And they might be in like mud huts. But they've somehow found a way to watch Tenfey videos, and they worship me as some sort of god. If you worship Tenfey as some sort of god in the current age, leave a comment. Son, let's boost my megalomania. Let's boost my megalovania. Dogs. You can't phase through the stairs, dogs. That's cheating. Somebody come running up these steps so that I can obliterate them. Thank God one of you was a good boy. Oh, one of y'all understands how objects stop other magical objects from reaching you. You're real clever. You have to pathfind to me someday, Sparky J. We did it. God rest you, Sparky J. Sparky Joe's a good dog name. If you get a dog anywhere in the near future, feel free to use it. You have to pay me royalties, and by that I mean every time you're petting him and telling them he's a good boy, or her that she's a good girl, because I think Sparky Joe could apply to either variety of dog. One of those head pats has to be dedicated to your boy Tenfey. Alright. This place is not too frustrating, at least not yet. Boys, the next section, my God, thinking about it. Unless we, you know, take the shortcut, which we might need, should, ought to do. Excuse me? You seem to be very angry for no reason. I mean, I don't know what I've done to justify you attacking me other than have souls. And you're like soul starved. I mean, I feel bad for you, but it's not exactly my problem. I think Hollow should pull themselves up by their own pickaxes, son. Make something of themselves. What would A and Rand think if she knew you were down here just trying to murder people? Actually, she'd probably think that was pretty industrious as well. Murder your way to victory, kids. Make A and Rand think you're cool. I like to think that thing we just activated was a ye old eye wash station. If somebody here got like magma or chemicals in their eye, they had to run over there while somebody else had to run all the way up to that big lever or valve and open it. It's a little work safety humor for y'all. If this video somehow was recommended to you after you finished watching JonTron's like work safety videos video, then I'd like to think I kept that thing going for you. I just thought we ought to kill these salamanders. My God. These salamanders literally burning a hole in my pocket, son. When you shoot a wall point blank, the controller goes chunk chunk. Or it's more of a... Somebody get Michael Winslow in here to be the PS5 controller. Hey, boys. We did it. Magica. Now we can go down here and get ye all good shit. Large, sharp stone shards. Gotta have them. Ironically, I need more regular ones to get my spear to +5. Boys, you show up to the first date with a dragoon lady with a +5 spear. It's almost too much. That's like showing up to pick up your date in like a Maserati. It's like you're trying too hard. You gotta let some of your personality get through. Dragoon ladies aren't just obsessed about the quality of your spear, son. It's the character behind it. For a second, I forgot where the hell I was. And also, I got lost in this video game. We did miss that crystal lizard because we didn't fall for their trap. Because what they wanted you to do back there was run around the corner chasing him like Benny Hill. And then you run into that big pack of fucks. But we used advanced tactics to get behind them. And since Miyazaki considers that cheating, because he doesn't get to laugh at your misfortune, he doesn't get that sweet, sweet Schadenfreude, or however you say that word. Okay, if we destroy all the explosive barrels, then he can't do nothing with them. We took everything from him. I beat that fat official, and what did it cost you? Everything. I rolled through that. My God. Never knew the crowded Demon Souls loved cheats by so much. 3 solid R2s will be real good, but then you want to roll away because woo-wee. Lord have mercy, he's got that point blank fire span. I like that we've gotten to the point where I can just start doing Old Southern Man's Guide to Dark Souls enemies without having to like immediate do a precursor. It proves that he's a good staple Tenfey character. He's probably up there in the top 10 in Shonen Jump's ranking of top Tenfey characters. Top Tenfey characters. I once thought about doing like a joke top 10 list thing on YouTube and calling it top Tenfey, but then I realized that's way too ambitious for me and would require like more editing than me editing in fucking Final Fantasy music and shit is already like pushing it. I need an intern that I can make do the editing for me. And I could pay them in Tenfey exposure. I'm like, I'll mention your name once at the end of a video. And like, a good solid 45 people will hear it. There's Chris Blade. He sounds real cool. I believe that thing makes your magic stronger. So if we were to ye old men max. Alright. Oh, you require 16 magics. How many magics does we got? We're at 13 magics. Corbin, my man, I don't have enough magic. Well, I gotta play the one Souls game you can't respect. But no, seriously. I'm not really planning on being solely a magic boy this playthrough. We're going to use magic to get us through the early game, son. When magic is at its most powerful. It's like the opposite of Dungeons and Dragons. In Demon Souls, you start out in your magic and things left and right, but then you could transition into melee. Of course, if you stay magical in Demon Souls, you become broken OP mess, but that's neither here nor there. Like in D&D, I don't know how does a level 1 wizard even survive? I guess you've got to have like 8 party members circling around you like turtle shells in Mario Kart. Because you've got like 3 HP and you know like animate rope and color spray. Of course, that's like back in the day. It might be different now. I always hear people saying 5th edition is too fucking easy. So maybe may just start with like fireball and time stop. I always like that spell that makes a door appear, and when you step inside the door, you're in like a nice house. Is that a magic spell or a magic item? Boys, I really am a D&D secretary. I really have not ever sat down and like played it. I've just kind of read about it on the internet. I'm moist. Time to fight spiders. That's my impression of Black Cat from Marvel Spider-Man. Oh boy. Hey, sweet cheeks. You get a magic spell. It does not reach him. Okay. This isn't really the best way to go about fighting this fucking thing, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to fight him the way Miyazaki intended, by getting hit in the mouth with fireballs. He's going to do like a slash attack. Oh, get your fucking head down here. Ow! Stop shooting fireballs, I'm near you. There we go, that's what we wanted. Now we can do a little bit of crescent melee. Oh no, are you... No, that's when you're supposed to hit him, idiot. Attack the armored spiders of proboscis. When the armored spider jiggles around and falls to the ground, go aboard him. Like a pot of neck bones, Lord have mercy. When he starts a-gangling about and spewing that nonsense, be sure to run away. It's not cowardly if it's tactical. Let's Watervale again. They did a good job of showing you where the hell that shit is, because in the original you just had to know how far away to fucking stand. Boom. Bop. Boop. That's what we want. The girthy attack that lets us get in there and get some good licks in, son. Like we're deeps in a Tootsie Pop roll. Tootsie Roll Pop, excuse me. I like your sinister music. Don't fucking... Oh, good God, this guy. Can't get anywhere near him. It's a good thing I'm sopping fucking wet. It's the only way I can deal with this nonsense. Well, I can't get any wetter. Son. We've reached maximum moistness. Don't fall down when I'm not there to hit you. Johnny Cage would never approve of that time to fall down. I don't know where I am. Okay. Oh no, I'm covered in the spider jizz. That's also my impression of Black Cat after she's done fighting Spider-Man. A little less ambiguity there at the end. Excuse me, I need to eat. A big heal, thank you. I appreciate you respecting my dietary needs. He's gangling. He's spitting that fire, son. I believe we can get damp now, though. Haha. They do a good job of making you look moist in this version. I give them that. Their moistness technology is in the fucking corner. Alright, sweet cheeks. Falling down on the ground, see? That's what I want you to do. Multiple hits. That's the ticket. Oh. There we go. Alright, I think one more good solid one of them and we got him right where we fucking want him. My flourish availed me not. There we go. Get fucking smoked, idiot. Son, we're so moist, but ready. As I clicked on that gesture, I saw it said propose, and I was like, oh dear. Only in death did the Earl of Cloves realize how much that armored spider meant to him. The Tunnel City. Well, technically, I haven't actually walked in there yet. I'm outside the city limits, son. I'm outside your jurisdiction. It's like being at a subway in the UK, son. It's practically an American embassy. I mean, the sandwich shop chain, by the way, not like an underground subway system. Okay. The Nexus. What are we going to do? Well, Ostrava's here just hanging out. How's it going, buddy? Did you get the high score yet? Are you winning, son?
Before the Blight, Bullet the King, his knights, and his subjects. I've spent much time in my studies in the cult. Look at what has become of us now. I refuse to believe that this is what Father wished for.
He doesn't agree with his dad, son. Hashtag relatable.
Here in Boletaria, we speak of the legend of the two swords and the solitary hero. The two swords are Demon Brand and Soul Brand. One sword banishes that which befouls man, and the other banishes man himself. The solitary hero is old King Doran is the everlasting one. But in the dark state.
He's talking about the optional super boss. Also like his fancy way of saying like one sword hurts demons and one sword hurts humans. He's like, one of them hurts things that hurt humans and the other one hurts humans. And I'm like, so does the first sword hurt the second sword then? And then he'd like get caught in a do-while loop and explode. Because spoilers, he's one of them Westworld androids. I knew it the whole time. Do we want to learn another magic? I don't really think we need another magic spell. A miracle. Whew. Don't know if I want to do that either. Let's give Stockpile Thomas a bunch of this junk. And we'll go from there. How's that sound? We'll see if we picked up enough to get that spear to +5. Can't use that great club, which, spoilers, you know, it's all right club. I'm not going to talk bad about it, but Jesus, calling it great. I keep carrying these because I'm going to trade one of them to Snuggly. Or Sparkly. I keep Snuggly's Dark Souls 1's crow. Oh, we found pantaloons. I don't really know if we need any baggy pantaloons. Son, we're an Earl after all. We have to dress to impress. The Baroness is... That's the slogan of an Earl. Get that in a needle point. And hang it right next to Bless This Mess. Okay. I still say we should just keep getting our survivability up. Our weapons are good enough for the stage of the game we're at right now that we don't need to like worry about weapon damage as much. So I'm just going to keep these two stats rolling. Honestly, I consider endurance more important than vitality in the short term.
Art thou finished? May thy strength help the world be mended.
So the world might be mended. So if we go in there, the Flame Lurker's the next boss here. Ooh, I don't know if I'm quite robust enough to take on the Flame Lurker. The Tower of Latria. Never a fun place to be. I say we go to the Valley of Defilement and just bebop scat through there, kill the Leechmonger. We'll all share a laugh at the end. So sounds like a good time. Once again, I'm always setting up these perfect loading screen. Like, I always got to say something poignant right before the loading screen. But I guess I really don't have to anymore with this game. Hey, buddy. Remember when I was here earlier and you crowd were real fun to piss me off? Well, guess who grew up big and strong and got powerful weapons? Guess who went and paid to win? No, not Water Veil. Although their flame spears will do less damage with a Water Veil. It's true. I just walked off a ledge like an asshole. I don't even have anything humorous to say. Now, I do want to get this world to pure black tendency at some point to fight the primeval demon. But I don't know if dying right there where I just did was the best way to go around it. Do we have enough HP that I don't need the Cling Ring? I don't think these guys drop anything that I care enough about to worry about item discovery. So we'll go with the bread and butter. I was about to say. He's my bread and butter. That's like an endearing way you would describe either like a very close friend or your actual brother if you were close with them. Oh no. No, please don't tell me that my weapon hit against the wall. Never. Not in a Dark Souls game. Are you fucking kidding me? Demon Souls is my favorite game in the Dark Souls series. It's kind of like how Shin Megami Tensei 4 is the Dark Souls of Persona game. Okay. We won't fall for their jokes and japes this time. Sometimes rocks fall here. I've seen it happen. Rocks falling off of my cliff. It's more likely than you think. You crowd are still resilient enough to take 3 soul arrows. How about if we shoot you with one, and then I walk over there and finish you off with some old-fashioned sword slices? Son. Roll when you hit the ground. Your attack is to just run at me like an asshole. And it works! That's the worst part! They really are like the most dangerous basic enemy. I don't consider the skeletons basic enemies. Those things are fucking nightmares. Those things ought to be the fucking optional super boss. Old King Doran or whatever is like, I don't fuck with them skeletons. Jesus Christ. Fucking cheating ass things roll all over the place. I've got like one of them branch swords and a chloranthy ring. And even I don't want to fucking deal with it. And I'm King fucking Doran. Am I thinking of the right person? Yeah, because old King Allant is the boss. King Doran is the guy locked up in a secret room. Whose spoilers I doubt will be good enough to beat. But I certainly want to give it a try at some point in the future. Whew, you crowd wearing my magic arm out, son. I like the very lackluster way he begrudgingly fell down there like we were his parents telling him to do chores. He's like, fine, whatever. I'll fall down and fight the player character. God. God. I had fucking plans today, you know. It's like, well, you can plan on getting your ass beat if you ain't down there and killing that player character in under 20 seconds. He just threw his flame spear to hell when he died. It was his final attack. I see y'all over on that bridge. I think there are secret guys that come out of the ground here when you try to go across that bridge. I feel like it's quite the trap that Miyazaki masterfully put into the game. They're like Doom's monster closets. You just walk past something and then an enemy is behind you. Yep, there he is. You got me so good, Miyazaki. Never expected it, son. Boys, ain't I surprised. I'm like Iago in Aladdin when he finds out that thief from the beginning of the movie is not the diamond in the rough. There's a big surprise. Whew, I'm gonna take me a fresh spice, son. I'm telling you, I'm gonna pull my magic gland if I'm not too careful, son. I wish 2 soul arrows killed them. It seems like just the right amount. I hate that inflation has made it where it takes 2.3 soul arrows to kill him. How the hell am I supposed to shoot 0.3 of a soul arrow? Let me guess, you're going to, yeah, run over here and just do a bunch of crazy shit. And call it a technique. Oh, please let me lock onto him and then shoot a soul arrow. I do not know how I'm hitting him, but it's working. And that makes me the hero. If you can cheese your enemies from a distance, the Souls games are all so easy. This is how the kids beat it. Meanwhile, the kids are doing Soul Level 1, like naked character, no item playthroughs, while yawning, while doing Fortnite dances, and streaming Among Us in the background. I don't believe that you're dead. I'm a weekend at Bernie's this man across the whole fucking map. Alright, just this once. I'll believe that you were dead, but I don't want to have this thrown back at me. I'd like to think I can believe in corpses. Used to be when a man died that meant something, but these days they just get back up when you walk past them. No integrity in the corpses today. There's like, yeah, I was about to say there's a fucking mess of y'all over here. I know it. I swung in every direction simultaneously and that man just dodged it like it was nothing. He was swaying and swabbing. He probably swabbed back before he went fucking crazy and lived in fucking shit valley where nobody gives shit. The only shit anyone gives is the shit that flows down the river. I say. Oh, you're in there with some of them poison things. Expecting me to go run around the corner just blindly swinging. Now, is that man going to come over here and fight me like an adult? This is why we had this spear with us. Boom! It's actually a much better weapon here. Who would have thought the spear would be a much better weapon? If only somebody had knew, son. If only there were some spear advocates. Now, why am I poisoned? I stood far away. I stood so far away. I believe I have Noble's Lotus, though, so it's all good. Let's put that on our bar. Actually, don't we have like a sub bar right here? Yeah. Like in Dark Souls 3. That's a good place to put your Noble Lotus. And since we're going to put that there, we might as well have the Widow's Lotus next to it. And if we get super desperate, let's put Dark Moongrass there. That's our, basically it's a divine blessing. This is where you're like, oh, you mean it's a fucking cheat item? You're not allowed to use Megalixirs, bro. It's fucking cringe. I think I already did this character doing this once. But that's how you know I believe in it. I wouldn't repeat something on the Tenfey channel unless I believed in it. I genuinely like how they like drop their weapons like that and like physics apply to them. Like the way he dropped that and it bounced and he fell, that was fucking beautiful. Is this the way I want to be going? Is this where that woman sits and she's so fucking mad all the time? It is. Oh no, the rats are down here. The rats that took my life. Why am I poisoned? Do these men just generate poison with their body? Alright, these fucking things are back in town. And they're ornery, son. I don't have my fire bombs on my hotbar. Like the largest full of all. You'd think they'd be somewhere on this fucking bar. Okay, now we can do this. Tactics. And look, once again, the one rat survivor. I won't bore you with any more of my Final Fantasy IX fanfiction. But just know that I'm thinking about it. Why is that? I'm not... Oh, you press triangle to use it there. Of course. It's the obvious thing. Why wouldn't that make sense? Alright, cool. And the gang. Now, I don't have nary fucking... or not enough souls to buy anything from that lady. And I also hate the way she's looking at me. But if you don't buy anything from her, she's very passive-aggressive. She's like, I guess my son will starve to death. I'm like, what fucking son? You're just sitting there. Okay, cool. We've properly made it back to where we died that one time. Now, I want to buy at least one. He's got infinite fucking frames on that attack that he can hit you. It's bullshit. There's a reason he's banned at Evo, son. There's a reason Daigo won't touch that character. Alright, I believe we need like around 1,500 to buy one black turpentine or whatever pine resin. And that's what I want. So I say we use one of these. We don't even get the satisfaction of like busting it. We don't even get to bust a fat soul nut. Boys, I didn't think about that phrase before I said it. And now I realize how terrible it was. When we're not fighting, have the Crescent Falchion equipped. And then you'll regain mana.
Won't you? You don't deserve to this place, Buzz. You could do worse than the price of survival.
Boys, what an opportunist. Wait, what do you sell? A mace, a war pick, a halberd, the talisman of God. Oh yeah, rotten arrows are good. We could get a queef. This is like the cleric set. We're not particularly cleric-y. Rotten arrows are cool if you're a person that uses a bow. I don't have enough for one of these, which means I have to leave this menu, which means, boys, talk about passive-aggressive. You can hear her practically rolling her eyes and like typing on Twitter, like what's her name from the Deadpool movie? Megasonic Teenage Warhead or something like that.
Curses. I wasted my breath on you.
Wasted your breath? Oh, did that witch? I think she's talking about Estrella, the Madam Estrella, the final boss. Okay, this should give me enough to buy one fucking item from you. So you leave me the hell alone.
finished over my little one.
Boys, how much have I got to buy? If I went in there and bought 99 every item, would she still say that? I don't care for that lady. The way she conducts her business. I felt the ill intentions of those rocks through the controller. That's what saved me. There's a large man here. And large men should be shot with arrows. And then you should run away. It's the only thing they respect. Good God, that thing is fucking pissed. How far up here are you going to follow me, buddy? Although, can you climb up here? I hope not. He's not going to mess with that lady either, because they don't. The NPCs don't. The enemies don't acknowledge them. Well, we have gotten him in a very professional corner, trapped in a loop. Arno himself, his smiling optimism would return. And look, he brought a little friend for us to kill. See, that's how you earn souls, lady. Not through commerce, but through combat. Combat and commerce. That would be an interesting role-playing game. Like, you can either spec to be like a warrior, or you could spec to be like a merchant, or a actuary. Ooh, you had your chance. This is the day you almost stabbed Earl of Close to death with a flaming spear. Remember it. And you did an even worse job of sneaking up on me. I almost felt bad cutting this crowd down, but then I remember that I despise them and all they stand for, and I'm reinvigorated with renewed hate. Poison bugs. Poison bugs can be magicked. Poking them with a spear is cooler though, and is more impressive. Let's see if we can do it without getting poisoned. Ew. Ah. Oh, no, back up. Okay, we got it. Okay, come on. Yeah. It's that initial burst when you first poke them that poisons you, I believe. So as long as you can avoid that, you're good. They're like big ticks. How awful. If you got one of them things hung on you, you like would have all the blood sucked out of your body before you even had a chance to react to it. It'd be like that time Master Shake put like a shop vac hose down his straw and just turned it on because he was trying to lose. Like Meatwad and Carl had a bet to see who could lose the most weight. And Shake was trying to sabotage it for Meatwad, so he was like constantly cooking him funnel cakes and shit. But Carl was eating some sort of, it was called South Bronx Parasite was the name of the bar. And spoilers, it put some kind of horrific tapeworm monster in him, and it made him lose a shitload of weight because it basically devoured him from the inside out. But, what was the point? Oh, yeah, the Master Shake thing. But anyway, Shake somehow got himself into the bet because he's Master Shake, and then do I really need to describe how Master Shake gets in antics? But right at the very end, that's how he tried to lose weight. And spoilers, I'm pretty sure it killed him. But the most tragic thing of Aqua Teen Hunger Force is that Master Shake never stays dead. Boom. Very professional big giant man killing. That's how I describe Levi from Attack on Titan. He's the most professional big giant man killer. I like to think the original Japanese doesn't translate as Titan, but it translates as big giant man. Daijin. Shin Daijin. That's what I would call them. Okay. Cool. We're to the Leechmonger. We're probably not going to cast any soul arrows, but just in case we do, let's have enough mana to do it. But what we are going to do is use this black pine resin. Boom. And apply that shit to the spear. Because we can't use weapon buffs on enchanted weapons, which include the Crescent Fashion. Say nah, Enchantion. C'est la vie. Anyway, now that we've done Parlez-vous in Francais, we can go down there and burn this fucking thing to death. Boys, we've put some black turpentine on this spear and make it a black fire spear. Son, the dragoon ladies will be putty in her hands. Alright, the secret to this fucking thing is that even though it looks awful and you don't want to be anywhere near it, you gotta just get all up in there. You gotta get all up ons. And it'll hit you with leeches and you'll be covered in them. And they drain your life. And you just got to play through the leeches. Oh my god, that did a lot of damage. Good Lord, have mercy. That did way too much damage. I wasn't even through my bullshit sports pep talk. Okay, the new plan is don't get fucking hit. My god, just fall down there. Pick a good spot and fall. Okay, roll. Roll, roll. Roll your bait. Ooh, the fire. Alright, okay, just try and somewhat dodge his attacks if you can. Then. Damage. Damage. Okay, he's got like all kinds of AoEs and shit. A heal. A heal! My kingdom for a heal! Okay, we spammed heals and we're rewarded for it. Just keep that fire spear going, baby! Oh no, he's going all fucking crazy! Doesn't matter. Fire spears will prevail. Cooler fire spear. Did that fucking shit already wear off? Boys! And he's regenerating HP. Give me my crescent falchion. I can't hack it away. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Don't get hit by his fucking AoE nonsense. Spam heal. Open this shit, put regular fire on our spear, and get in there. Good hustle. Oh no, I had a two-handed weapon and he didn't even know how to fucking swing it. The deeps! The deeps! We're deeps racing this motherfucker. R2s! Oh! I can't kill him quick enough. No, he went all fucking crazy again. Alright, this should be enough to kill him. Easiest fucking boss in the game, boys. I just realized because we're actually playing this before Tommy got a chance to, because he got the PS5 so late last night and it took him so long to download the game that it was like midnight, and since he had to work this morning he had to go to bed. So technically I'm earning all the achievements for him, and I'm pretty sure the horrific 1984 surveillance state that this controller is, that has a microphone built into it, I believe I've heard that it like records you while you're getting achievements. So Tommy's going to look back on getting these achievements and just shake his head so sadly. The Earl of Cloves fucking achievement sniped him. 360 no achievement snipe. I believe there was a couple of items up here we didn't have a chance to grab because I was panicking and screaming about how the boss was cheating. Maybe that's not true. They must just be down here in these crevices. Let's see. Let's find a spot that we don't think will kill us if we fall off. Like, right here. Ooh. There we go. They're over here. Sucker Stone. There's a Sucker Stone born every minute. That enhances... Leech weapon? Are there leech weapons? Am I making that up? Am I gaslighting y'all? It doesn't matter because Tommy's about to get home from work, which means we have to end this recording session. So I'm sorry. Now, instead of thanking Tommy like you did at the beginning of the playthrough, you have to curse him. But I think we'll be alright, son. We'll get another chance to play here in a couple of days.